Hey guys, welcome in and a very happy Friday to you here. Another edition of Pony Pundits powered by WagerTalk.com. And although the Triple Crown races have come and gone, we still have plenty of opportunities to cash some tickets in races coming up. Still so much more to come here throughout the year. And you're never going to believe the actual milk carton worked. We found Marco D'Angelo. Can't believe it. It feels like almost an eternity. But he's here. Marco is in the house, as is Sig. And Marco, welcome back, my friend. We missed you, but I understand you were out and about gallivanting. How was everything, my friend?
You guys had a lot of fun last week on the show there, boys. A lot of laughs and jokes at my expense. From my hair to my vacations to everything else. But, hey, Joe, did you get that text I sent you this week?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Oh, no, not that one. Not that one. Don't jump ahead. This was the text on Wednesday I sent you to bet Sin City Lori. Did you do it?
Oh,
she wanted 60. She paid $60 to win on Wednesday. Did you cash?
All right, I'm done with him, Nick. I mean, it's Sig, I'm done with him. Did you get a text, Sig? Because of what? I didn't get ungats. I got nothing.
Oh, no, you didn't get the text? Oh, that is hilarious. Almost as funny as your jokes last week, buddy. Oh, yeah. Oh, and Sig, look at that face on Sig right now, laughing. Well, you know what? Sig's, he doesn't like to tell everybody this, but before his illustrious career as a horse handicapper, back in the day in Pittsburgh, Sig was a male model. And I took Lori to the restaurant that they made the logo from the inspiration of our own Sig. And let's go ahead and bring that up.
Oh, my God, I see it. Yes.
I know he's shy and he doesn't want everybody to know it, but he did have an illustrious career as a male head model in Pittsburgh.
All right, well, hold on, Sig, because now we're gonna have to put that side by side. You know that, Sig. We're just to make sure that he's not pulling that out from anywhere. But Sig, you're not gonna let the guy's been gone for like 6.5 months, and now all of a sudden he's gonna come back and start throwing shots. He's got $60 horse winners he doesn't tell anybody about. And he's taking photos of you as a head model in a previous life. What's going on with him, Sig?
Yeah, Joe, the jag-off goes back to Pittsburgh, goes to one of my favorite restaurants, doesn't bring me a head, which doesn't bring me any of the best wings in Pittsburgh, just sits there, makes fun of my big head with a picture of a guy that is on 1 million beer bottles.
Hey, listen, that's not a bad place to be, actually. Not a bad place to be remembered. But, hey, listen, all fun and games. It was a somewhat exciting Belmont, to say the least. Good old Skippy Longstockings there. So, Marco, talk to me about, we didn't get your thoughts on the race. I'm going to assume that you had the same horse that everyone else had to win it. But talk to me about what you thought of the Belmont. Any surprises, crazy surprises to you?
Well, Skippy Longstockings ruined the trifecta for us, but we did nail the exacta. That we had it cold 1-2 there for the exacta with the winner in Nest, and it was uneventful Belmont. Obviously, all of the drama was around. We wanted to see what Rich Strike was going to do. Was he going to live up to the the performance he had in the Kentucky Derby and such, and he didn't. It's a situation for him that a lot of people think now that, he hurt some of his stock breeding wise. How much more Rich Strike will we see in his career? Because every time he doesn't win, it's, going to devalutize him as a stud. But, it still was a great race, handicapping wise. Nice price on the horse to win, which I thought, we were getting a great price. He should have not been the price that he paid, even though, he went off as one of the favorites. He should have been a lot lower odds, and it was an easy win. Enjoyed that. And all jokes aside, yeah, I did have a great week in Pittsburgh. And, Joe, if you thought you were upset because you didn't get that text from me on Sin City Lori on Wednesday, the namesake of that horse was rather pissed off when we were watching that race, because we were back there. I mean, the horse is named after her. You all guys know the story, my wife Lori, and she has yet to get a win photo with the horse. And we were there for a week. She raced last week. We thought she was going to win last week. She cut them out, got to deep stretch, and just got collared at the wire, lost by 3/4 of a length, finished third, led the whole way. And then this week has the 8-hole and ends up winning the race. And it was, to tell you what happened, because we thought we had no shot, and that's why she paid $60. I did have a few dollars on her because I'm not having another Southwind Aussie situation where I let that one go with no money. But remember the Kentucky Derby and the suicide fractions that happened on the front end?
Yeah.
Well, in my race, they went the first half in 54-4, and then they came home in 59-3. That's why she came from last to first to collar the race. So, but I'll take it. We'll take the win check and move on to next week, and I'll try to remember to text you guys.
Well, it's kind of hard, Marco, to be, when you're in the mosh pit at a Kenny Chesney concert and the horse is winning, it's very hard for you to go from Heinz Field, I believe, to the Meadows in order to get that photo. So it must have been a terrible weekend for you. It really did look like it. A picture is worth 1,000 words, Sig. Quick question here, though. Tell me here, Sig, speaking of Rich Strike, I found it fascinating, the interview with the trainer afterwards. And he's like, well, we probably made a little bit of a tactical error. We should have kept him on the inside. He kept wanting to go to the rail. We got to kind of teach him to go around horses. Like on national, you're in what? What? You thought it would be good to go to the outside on a horse that won the Derby because he was on the rail? Like I don't understand what the hell they were thinking there, Sig. Much less admitting it.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, Joe. I don't know what they were thinking there. It wasn't a 20-horse field like the Derby. It was an 8-horse field. The race basically played out the way I thought. And if you guys watched last week's show, I had given you guys Mo Donegal on top. I had Creative Minister, followed by Nest. When I got down to Friday and I came down to the final selection sheet, I actually flip-flopped Nest to Creative Minister. So we were ice cold on the sheet for the weekend. Thank you to everybody that joined me for the weekend pass. We did pretty well there. It could have been a really fantastic weekend, depending on how that last race of the day on Saturday ended up. Unfortunately, we won about 400 on that race. It could have been about 4,000 if the 3-horse just got up. He got beat by less than a head, I think, in that last race there. So it could have been a completely great weekend. And if the Chad Brown had, I believe, 4 horses in the Manhattan, which was race 10 right before the Belmont, we used 3 of the 4 Chad Brown horses. Which one beat us on the pick 6 for both the 2-day pick 6, the Saturday pick 5, and the Saturday pick 4? Ooh. The Chad Brown we didn't use. So, guys, from here on out, I'm using every Chad Brown horse in every Chad Brown race.
Ain't broke. Don't fix it. That's the bottom line. And a big shout out to Sean, honestly, for filling in for Marco last week. I don't think in the history of the show have we ever had a guest on be more wrong than he was. Fantastic job, Sean. We appreciate that. Gentlemen, let us take a look here at race number 6, if we can, over the weekend. We're going to head back to Belmont, and we are going to go with the Poker Stakes here. 6th race coming up this Saturday. Let's just hope there's no scratches because, good Lord, Sig, your ass might be racing in this before it's all said and done. But it is an interesting one. And speaking, of course, of Chad Brown here, I'm going to assume there's a connection. But Marco, since you're back with us here, shall we start with you with one? What would you like us to do?
No, we'll let Sig start. When you see the odds, of course you have to start with Sig. I didn't want to have you starting with me, me taking the favorite as you always do. So this one goes to Sig.
All right. Well, Sig, listen, the floor is yours. Number 1 in this race. Talk to us. What do you think about this horse?
Well, thank you to my esteemed colleague Mark over there for handing me the 6-5 morning line chalk here. On the turf in New York, Chad Brown, we trust, as Mike just basically came back on that transition there. Brown does have the top 2 morning line favorites in here, and on paper, they look true. He has 40% of the field here. Of the 2 that Brown horses in here, because Marco's going to talk about public sector here next, this gelding looks the best to me here. He started his career out in Europe. Was lately raced in 2020. That was the COVID year, and they didn't race as much over there. So his 2-year-old debut didn't occur to January of that year. He won on his debut, had a couple rougher races, and they decided to geld this horse. And since then, he hasn't missed the exacta in any of his races here. His debut in North America was in April at Keeneland in the Maker's Mark Mile. He looked like he was going to win that race there before the Roger Hatfield trade. Cheryl Spike caught him right at the wire there. Came back. He won the Seek Again Stakes pretty much in hand here in May at Belmont. He seems to like this Belmont surface. That's where they have him training at. And with Flavian Pratt back aboard here, I think Mason's your top win contender and your rightful morning line favorite.
Oh, yeah, the chalk. He couldn't help himself, Marco. Go ahead, Marco. Where are we going here? Number 2, Sanctuary City here at 7-2 morning line. What do you think?
The only thing I keep hearing from that analysis is ever since they gelded him, he hasn't missed the exacta. I tell you what, he better not miss the exacta because, if they gelded you, what's next? I don't know what other party can lose. We're going to go here to Sanctuary City, and this is a horse, again, we're dealing with a small field, and, this is like Belmont has become the Santa Anita of the East Coast with these small fields this meet. But we got to play the hand that's dealt you. Oh, excuse that pun for the poker stakes. Sanctuary City. This is a horse that is his own worst enemy. He has no gate speed. He always breaks poorly, but he is a phenomenal closer. Problem is sometimes he just runs out of racetrack, and what happens too often with these horses in the turf races, they have that big close, but they end up being 3 or 4 wide in that last turn because there's so many horses in the race if it's a full field. You look at the last 4 races, he broke 8th, 7th, 7th, 7th. He's not breaking that far back this time. He's going to break at worst 5th, being only 5 horses in here, which is important for when he's making that big sweeping move in the final turn. He's not going to have to be 4 or 5 wide and losing ground. So although I don't expect a hotly contested pace, I think he's going to be closer to the pace and not have to make up as much ground. I think he has a big shot to finish on this ticket. He will be one of my 4. Oh, big surprise. There's only 5 horses in the race, but this is a horse that can reach in this race. So don't overlook Sanctuary City at 7-2 in this one. And he's already got a race over this track, this course, finishing 2nd in his last outing.
All right. Well, let's we'll go on to horse number 3 here. 6-1 finally here, Sig. A horse we might be able to make some bucks with, which means he'll probably finish 5th. Joe Rosario, William Mott here. Rosario's had some success in this race over the years. So what do you think about number 3 Penalty here?
Yeah, Joe, the most interesting thing about Penalty for me is that Rosario is up on the board here for Bill Mott. But this horse is now 7 years old. They gelded him after his 6-year-old season here, brought him back. It didn't seem to help him. I mean, I know it wouldn't help me. It would have helped Marco. It would have helped you. It definitely didn't help Penalty as he finished 9th in the Elusive Quality Stakes here back at the end of April here at Belmont. The addition of Rosario is the only positive I can find about this horse. And with having a lone speed leader who we're going to get to a little later in Wolfie's Dynaghost here, he may not have enough late run to get up and hit the board against this field. In a 5-horse field, we're not going to have a whole lot of value, especially with the money I think Mason's going to take here. You can use them lightly on the bottom of your exotic tickets here, but you're not going to make a whole lot on the trifecta or this. I don't even think we have a superfecta in this 5-horse field, but if we do, if you use Mason on top and he takes the money that I expect him to take here, there's not going to be a whole lot of money value here to be made. in this race. Penalty, lightly use him at the bottom of your exotic tickets, but he's not going to be a factor in this race.
All right, not like in number 3. How about number 4 here, Marco? Jose Ortiz, the other Chad Brown entry here. I guess it comes down to which one do you like better. But talk to me about Public Sector.
Yeah, this is the other horse, and how many times do we talk about when a big name trainer has multiple entries? One's the overwhelming favorite, gets all the money, and it's the other horse that gets there. That's what I'm looking for here in this one. I think that Public Sector is a horse. He's a 4-year-old, raced extremely well, is raced all of the big dances. If you look at his last 5 starts, they've been all graded stakes. The last 2 have been grade 1s. Now, you look at the last race and say, how can I bet this horse? He finished 6th by 15 lengths. Well, that was his first start off of a long layoff. He needed that start under his belt. This is a horse that sets off the pace and closes. If you look at that race, as again, I say it was just a tightener race for him. But if you look at the fractions they went in that race, they went slow fractions. You had a halftime there, 49 in that race, slow. So they're not going to make up a lot of ground, and especially since that, to me, was the tightener or foundation race. I look for this horse to make a big jump today, or I should say tomorrow on Saturday. He's got 11 career starts, 5 wins, 3 seconds. This horse knows how to get his picture taken. I think he can pull the upset. And when you're looking at a 5-horse field and you got a morning line favorite of 6-5 and a horse that's going to take all of the money based on the last race, I want to make some money. And I think this is the horse that's going to do it for us. Public Sector, you'll hear me talk about him more in the close of the show.
All right, good stuff there. And that leaves us, of course, with the number 5 horse, Wolfie's Dynagos. And this is, of course, Louis Saez here on board. I believe, actually, he's had some success on not only the turf, but dirt. I think synthetic. He's had some success here, Sig. What do you think with the number 5 at 5-1?
Yeah, Wolfie's Dynagos is now 4 years old. He is what I call the speed of the speed, and all indications are the size is going to take him out early and set the pace against this short field here. While that tactic's done well for Saez and for Wolfie in the past, hasn't gone to the winner's circle here in Sig's company since he started racing in stakes. I look for Wolfie again to get out there and set those early fractions here. But as he usually does in these stakes races, he succumbs late to the hard-charging Brown. In this case, it's going to be the hard-charging Brown duo, Public Sector and Mason in the stretch run here. He has held on in the past for a piece in some of these exotic tickets, and I think he will be a price here, but he is not a threat to wire this field, even with Saez aboard.
All right, don't think Louis can get it done there. All right, that leaves us 5 here, guys. And before we get the best bets, just want to remind you, over at WagerTalk.com now would be a fantastic time for you guys to hop on board. Visit Sig's page each and every race day, guys, for the opportunity to grab his daily racing reports. They are available 9 a.m. on race days, guys. Make sure you check them out at Sig's page, wt.buzz/Sig. Get all of his breakdowns across the country at all tracks that he's involved in. All good stuff there. wt.buzz/Sig. And, of course, Marco continuing to be absolutely red hot, guys, whether it's at the track, MLB, NHL. He's the number 2 MLB handicapper at WagerTalk, guys. 214 and 157. His clients, a little over $9,000 over the last 2 years in profit, guys. You can get 3 days, all access, just $59 by visiting Marco's page, and that includes any and all of his 5% best bets over the next 3 days. Great opportunity to make it a very profitable weekend here. And Marco, we'll start with you. Tell us what your ticket looks like here for the poker stakes with all 5 horses.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a bonus here. If you're watching here Friday, the show live, you will have time to do it. I do have a horse racing at the Meadows tonight. 11th race, Meadows. the horse's name, he's number 2, Ramses, and he has a very good shot tonight. He is morning line favorite, 5-2. I do believe the horse that he has to beat is the 7 horse, Hill of a Knockout. I think this is a nice exacta for you, 2-7. Give it a shot. Box it 2-7, 7-2, and see what happens and root us on. He'll probably win because Lori and I are not in Pittsburgh to get our picture taken. So you know how that goes. But as far as the poker stakes on Saturday, as I said, I'm going to go with number 4. I'm going to go for the price horse. And I know Mason looks like the horse to beat, and he dominated that last race. Guys, I want you to remember that race that he won was a 3-horse race, okay? And the horse that finished 3rd was the horse that Sig just got done finishing, talking about the speed of the speed, the 5-horse. That horse finished 3rd, 23 lengths behind. It wasn't a monster tough field. So I think the 4-horse has a big shot, public sector, to pull the upset on Saturday. Of course, I am going to use the other Chad Brown underneath. Mason, this is a horse that it's hard to fault anything the horse has done, but I think the other horse is a more seasoned horse experience-wise in making this second start. I expect to see big things from him this week. For 3rd is number 2, Sanctuary City. I think that there's really only 3 horses in this race. Sanctuary City is a horse. If for some reason they get locked up in a quick pace, which could happen with Saez on the 5, it's going to set up for Sanctuary City to close. And as I said, won't have to go 4 and 5 wide in the last turn because of the short field. Ground-saving trip could get up for it. So for me, it's 4-1-2, and then I got to put a horse 4th, and that would be the 3-horse. But for me, honestly, it's going to be all about 4-1-2. My old Pittsburgh area code, Cold Punch, the Pittsburgh area code 4-1-2.
Get her done. 4-1-2. Throwing in penalty at number 3 there, guys. That's Marco. And the poker stakes coming up, race 6 at the Belmont tomorrow. And how about it, Sig? Not a lot of, I'm sure you're going to figure out a way to avoid any of Marco's picks somehow with 5 horses. But go ahead. What do you got for us? Let's see how you do it.
Well, Joe, kind of feels like cheating. We're giving you 4 horses in a 5-horse field. How wrong can you be here? But, guys, I told you in my first analysis here, I have the 1-horse Mason. I think he's got more to offer here. You got Flavian Pratt and Chad Brown on the turf in New York. I think he there's nothing. I mean, I can't call him a lock here because there is another Brown in here, but I think I'm riding Mason all day. The other Brown, number 4, public sector. If you go back and look at the past performances, guys, this horse likes New York. This horse doesn't miss the exacta in New York here. If you throw out those last 2 races at Churchill and Del Mar and go back and just look at those Belmont races, this horse is going to run well. I think an ice-cold 1-4 exacta is your play on Saturday here. I did use the 3 penalty. I gave him a little bit more credit than Sanctuary City here just because of the addition of Rosario here. Wolfie's Dynagos is going to set a fast pace here. Rosario is the best rider at time in that late run here. I think he may get up and at least add a little bit to your trifecta ticket here. But the 2 Sanctuary City is a good closer against this field. And either way, 2 or 3 are going to be in that 3rd spot on your ticket more than likely. I like Kendrick Carmouche. Sanctuary City's been a very consistent horse here. So I went 1-4-3-2 on Saturday.
1-4-3-2 is where Sig is looking here in the 6th race at Belmont, guys. Plenty of opportunities still over the next couple of months here. Some big races, of course. Eventually we'll get a couple of more at the Breeders' Cup. We still have Del Mar getting ready to open up, I think, soon, too. Saratoga, that meet will be there. Yeah, I know, exactly. A lot of horse racing still to come, which is, again, why you should have on WagerTalk.com and make sure you hop on board with Sig's daily racing reports each and every race day, 9 a.m., guys. Get a copy delivered to you directly. Sign up for it now, wt.buzz/Sig. And head over to Marco's page. Take advantage of that 3-day all-access pass. $59. Ton of MLB. We still have the Stanley Cup Finals going on, guys. Plenty of horse racing. Now's a great time to hop on board for just $59 with Marco over at WagerTalk.com. All right, that does it for us, guys. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much for hanging with us. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, the like button, and make plans to come back and join us again soon here as another edition of Pony Pundits will be here. Thank goodness without Sean. But until then, on behalf of Marco and Sig, guys, pleasure, man. Best of luck with your bets this weekend. We'll talk to you again soon. Good luck.